Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Sneha, and with me is Cheryl D'Souza. Now, this is a show where we're going to take you through all the buzzers in today's trading session in under a minute and talk about the fundamentals as well as the technicals. But before we do that, Cheryl, let's take a look at what the markets are up to. We did see a slight bit of a dip coming in a few hours ago, but we've managed to recover nominally from that.
A bit of a recovery, you could say, actually, Sneha. Very good afternoon to you. If you look at the markets, we try to make that recovery, but there you go. We're just trading in that range for the last 2 hours or so. So for now, we are seeing Nifty anywhere close to 24,570 levels. Nifty Bank, that's underperforming the benchmark indices, still in the negative territory. Now actually dipped a bit more lower. It is at the day's lowest point, that is your Nifty Bank. While the broader markets are actually outperforming the benchmark indices by a margin, both mid-cap as well as the small cap, but now looks like mid-cap has given up all of its gains. Small cap index holding on to gains of about 1.5% as we speak. And the advanced decline ratio for now is very much tilted in the favor of gainers. So 2 more hours of trading session. Let's see which side of the fence we end or shut shop for the day, Snehi.
Absolutely. Well, 2 more hours left and we have been dilly-dallying between the red and the green. So let's see what actually happens towards the end of today's trade. But on that note, let's kickstart the show then and welcome on the technicals Amar Singh, Senior Vice President Research at Angel One. And today from our in-house research team, we have Ansh joining us. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time out and joining us. Let me kickstart the show then. Talk about Kaplan Point, a big buzzer in today's trade. As of now, also 13.5% higher. This stock has only gained today, and this is on the back of a positive news flow coming in that the Anvisa Brazil, which is ANVISA or popularly also known as Anvisa Brazil, had concluded its inspection at the Kaplan Steriles Injectable and Ophthalmic Manufacturing Facility at Chennai. This inspection had taken place between 12th August and 16th August and it was concluded with 0 observations. The company has also said that Brazil is an important part of their extension plan into Latin America, and this clearance opens the doors to the largest markets in that geography as well. So positive news flow coming in, 0 observations coming in from this Brazilian agency, and on that note, Kaplan Point is up and away 13.5% higher.
All right, that's all about Kaplan Point and the reason for that sharp up move in the counter. But let's talk about Godfrey, Phillips, then Amar. And how is this one actually looking on the charts to you? A stock that we don't talk about much, isn't it?
Yeah, so if I look at Godfrey Phillips, this is one stock which has been on an uptrend significantly because the stock was in for consolidation for quite some time and we could witness the stock consolidating and unable to breach the earlier the 2000 level, and then the stock has rallied significantly. And from almost 4,500 levels, which was acting as a zone of resistance, the stock has taken off, and today the stock is about almost 10%. And if I look at the long-term charts, that's the monthly charts, quarterly charts, they continue to be very strong. Yes, on the weekly charts, we did witness some decline in momentum, but the trend still remains positive. So sustaining above the 4,800 level is something which is very important, very crucial, because that was a day where we had witnessed significant volumes as compared to the average volumes for the last 20 or 30 trading sessions. So sustaining over 4,800 level is something which the stock definitely needs to do if the stock is to rally. Sustaining over this level, the stock has the potential to rally towards the 5,300, 5,400 level. But one needs to remember that there's going to be increased volatility in the stock going forward. So that's something one needs to bear in mind.
Okay, increased volatility in the stock is what Amar is penciling in for Godfrey Phillips. But Cheryl, you've picked out Ino Healthcare. Tell us more.
Absolutely, Snehi, because the healthcare space is a bust today, and Ino Healthcare in particular has hit a fresh record high level. And this after an upbeat numbers coming in for the Q1. They released the number on Friday post-market hours. The stock saw a jump of as much as 6.5%, taking it to a record high about 1,320 rupees per share. The stock has actually crossed its IPO issue price of 1,258 rupees per share for the first time ever on an intraday basis today. The company has reported an over 3 times jump in the Q1 profits. You have Jefferies as maintaining a buy stance. They say that they like the company's guidance of at least 35% revenue growth in FY25. Therefore, they've kept the target at around 1,510 rupees per share, and they expect the company's PAT, as profit after tax, rising as much as 7 times by FY26. So upbeat guidance coming in from the management. Brokerage is giving a thumbs up. You have Ino Healthcare seeing good up move about 3.5% today.
Alright, so everything seems to be in Ino Health's favor today. Stock also reflecting that. But Ansh, you've picked out Techno Electric for us, and this is also another buzzer in today's trade. Tell us what's causing this positive rally in this stock today.
So the company has actually entered into security subscription cum shareholders agreement with Integrate 1, Integrate 2 and 2 special purpose vehicles of Integrate, namely Ishan Nagar Power Transmission Limited and Dhule Power Transmission Limited, for acquiring minority equity stake. Now, the company will also act as an engineering, procurement and construction contractor for the Greenfield project, that is establishing transmission system for Western Region Expansion Scheme and establishing its interstate transmission system for evacuation of power from Ishan Nagar and Dhule. But if you see on chart, then the stock has actually touched its upper circuit of 5%, but overall it seems to be trading in a consolidation phase from last 15 to 16 sessions.
Alright, let's move on then. Let's talk about Morpen Labs, Amar. How is this one looking in the charts?
Yeah, so if you look at this particular stock, the stock is has been very strong on the long-term charts, on the intermediate-term trend, and we did witness the stock consolidate because the stock at a point of time was unable to breach the 63 odd levels, and having taken that out, the stock has rallied by almost 14-15% today, and that also on significant volume. So if we go back in time, we see that the volumes today are significantly higher. So now the important thing that one needs to remember, that in the last quarter of September, that is 2021, the stock had made a high of 75, and post that the stock had corrected significantly. So the next level for the stock to watch out is somewhere around 74, 75. That's going to be the key resistance to watch out for. If that is taken out, then the stock is headed significantly higher. Otherwise, we could witness some profit booking. So on any decline, this can be a buying opportunity. The stock has got very strong support coming around the 63 odd levels.
Okay, so buy on dips is the strategy for Morpen Labs. But on that note, we'll slip into a very short break on this edition of Market Fatafat. More stocks to talk about when we return, so you stay tuned. Hi there, welcome back. Still watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. Let's keep it going with all the big buzzers in today's trade. And now I want to draw your attention to Genus Power, because this stock has also been doing pretty well in today's trade. The share price has been locked in upper circuit of 5% since morning today, and also hit its 52-week high following the company's wholly owned subsidiaries 3 letters of awards worth 2,925.52 crore rupees. So, that's a big order win, in fact, coming in. And in a filing with the exchange, the company disclosed that its wholly owned subsidiary has been awarded 3 letters of award for the appointment of advanced metering infrastructure services providers, and these will be responsible for designing the advanced metering infra system and for the supply, installation and commissioning of approximately 3.75 million smart prepaid meters with the FMS. The company's entire order book has now surpassed that 24,383 crore mark. So it's a big order win coming in for the company. On the back of that, the stock is locked in upper circuit of 5%.
Alright, moving on, Amar, let's talk about Ramco Systems then. And on the charts, how is this counter looking to you?
Yeah, I would say if I look at Ramco Systems, what we are witnessing here is that Ramco Systems has also rallied from the recent lows it had made, somewhere around 330 and then currently around 415. If you ask me on the long-term charts, it has turned positive and bullish. On the yearly charts, we are seeing some sort of resistance on the upside. So the recent highs of 450, that's going to act as a zone of resistance. Today high is around 424.25. But the stock is still in an uptrend, because on the intermediate term also we are seeing bullish momentum. On the long term also there is bullish momentum, and the highs that the stock had made in April of this year itself, that was 449, 450 level. So that's going to act as a zone of crucial resistance. If that is taken out, then the stock is headed significantly higher. We could witness a sharp rally even at the current levels, or any pullback that's a buying opportunity. The stock has got very strong support coming below the 370 levels. So this is one stock one can keep a close watch on.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Hindustan Zinc as well as Vedanta. Both of these counters actually are in focus. In fact, Hindustan Zinc has fallen for a fourth consecutive session. Today, the stock is down about 4.6%. On Friday, it was down about 9%. Also, the parent Vedanta, on the other hand, is seeing an uptick of about 2% as well. The company said that is Vedanta said that it would exercise an oversubscription option in the ongoing sale of Hindustan Zinc, and on back of that, the stock is actually seeing a sharp downtick. Remember that on Friday also the stock fell about 9% or so. On Friday, the non-retail investor had placed a bid for about 6.3 crore shares against 5.14 crore shares, representing 1.22% of equity on the offer, resulting in an oversubscription of about 1.23 times. And today, you can see the stock actually seeing once again a downtick or selling pressure of about 4.6%. It's among the top losers in the Nifty metals space as well. But talking about the metals, let's hear out what exactly Rakesh Arora had to say about the entire sector. Where does he see the metal prices going ahead? Listen in.
They would remain range bound around these levels. I don't really see too many triggers which can push commodity prices much higher until unless China comes out with a very big stimulus. The small stimuluses they are doing to support the economy is not really working. And also the geopolitical situation is such that countries are putting in trade barriers against imports from China, and that doesn't really augur well because these countries themselves can't really produce or grow that fast. So demand for commodities is likely to remain muted for the next year or so from what it looks right now. And so I would think at the best case scenario is a little bit of consolidation of commodity prices at the current levels.
Alright, let's just focus away from metals, and Ansh, you've picked out Paal Enterprises for us. Some promoter activity being seen on this stock, so tell us what's happening.
That's right. So the promoters have informed the exchange that through an entity forming part of company's promoter group has purchased around 6.1 lakh equity shares on the floor of the stock exchange, representing around 0.27% of total paid up capital of the company. Now, the shareholder of the company's promoter group has increased from 46% to 46.3% now. Also on chart, we are seeing that the stock is trading above its key DMA levels of 50, 100 and 200 DMA. Also, the stock is trading with over 3% of gains today.
Alright, let's also talk about another stock that is doing pretty well for itself in today's trade, and that is DCX Systems. Now, the company has announced a new order worth 107 crore rupees from domestic as well as overseas customers. This stock too locked in upper circuit of 5% today, and this order involves the supply of electronic kits and cables and wires, harness assemblies as disclosed in an exchange filing. Now, this order is expected to be completed within 1 year, and you also have a note coming in from brokerage firm KR Choksi. They've issued an investment recommendation on this stock, and they've set a target price of 519 rupees, which is quite the upside from the current market price. So positive brokerage note also coming in, and order win also aiding the stock and locked in upper circuit today.
Alright, let's talk about a stock that has been gaining for a third consecutive session, and that has to be Paytm. If you look at the stock, it's seeing good up move. At one point in time, the stock was trading higher by about 4.3%. So now, as you can see, the stock is trading higher by about 2%. You have Bernstein, which has come out with a note on Paytm, where they are saying that the regulatory overhang appears to ease for Paytm and suggests that 3 routes to profitability. On back of that, the stock is gaining for a third consecutive session. Remember that Paytm already gained about 11.5% in the last 2 trading sessions, that's Wednesday and Friday. If you look at what else Bernstein is saying, is that they're saying that the company's business housed in bank or NBFC format with Paytm's bank license payments bank license would turn it profitable almost immediately and also unlock the maximum value. Apart from that, they are saying that finding a corporate parent or middle path could make business less accident prone, and if none of the above, they believe that Paytm is likely to turn profitable by FY27, therefore justifying their target of around 600 rupees per share that they have set on the stock. As you can see it on your screen, 577 is where the stock is currently trading at. But we spoke to Manish Santalia earlier in the day to understand about the frenzy around the new age tech counters. Listen into what he had to say.
They are currently, at half the valuations of the largest, or half the market cap of the largest motorcycle company in India. So from that point of view, and they are not making profits, by the way, and if loss-making companies are getting valued in this way, then obviously the other platform companies ought to deserve more. I mean, that is the thought process. I think nothing fundamentally has changed as far as platform companies are concerned. But I think the rate cut environment it bodes well for IT companies, tech platforms. And obviously, these are all tech platforms where they are seeing a rub-off impact on the positive side because of the impending rate cut and because of the fact that, IT is making a comeback, technology is making a comeback.
All right, Amar, you've picked out a New India Assurance for us. Now, this stock is doing pretty well in today's trade, but in the last 6 months, it's dropped 15% Do you think now is a good time to buy this stock, and what are the levels you're spotting?
Yeah, I would say if you look at New India Assurance, the stock did correct significantly because if we go back, the stock had made a high of 324 in February, and then it had traded all the way towards 200 levels. And then recently, also as recent as July, it had made a high of 310, again corrected towards 250 odd levels. So now the stock is trying to find a bottom. And today has been an uptick day. So important for the stock is sustaining of the 250 levels. And it seems that the stock has got very strong support around the 230, 220 zone. So sustaining above 250 is something which is very important for the stock. Above that level, the stock has a potential to rally towards a 280, 285 level. So this is one stock one can keep a close watch on. But at the same time, I would like to add is that if you look at the stock is not in a very strong bull trend on the intermediate term basis or from a short-term perspective. So it's more of bouncing back from the supports, which is expected, but higher level. So it's more of a range play for the stock rather than any particular uptrend which is there in the stock.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, a lot more stocks to talk about. Don't go anywhere.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.